Okay. We are discussing third chapter. What are the changes we have on the Earth's surface? It's because of the force. We have a two force mainly which causes changes on the Earth's surface. What are those two forces? Yes, endogenic force and exogenic force. We are discussing endogenic force. Endogenic force, what do you mean by endogenic force? Yeah, the force which generates inside the earth. It's called as endogenic force. Endo, this refers to inside. So in under the endogenic force, we are discussing the examples. The last class we discussed the volcano, its endogenic force, which occurs or which originates from the inside the earth. Suddenly we can see the changes on the earth's surface. It's a volcano that makes the changes. The many mountains on the earth's surface has formed because of this volcano. And earthquake has happened because of this volcano. And you know, when earthquake happens or when the earth gets like shake, many physical features and many life get changed, distracted. Means many life will be lost and many physical features will be distracted because of earthquake. So this all happens because of the volcano that we are now to discuss about the earthquake. Earthquake. So this word itself explains about the concept. The word itself explains about the concept. Here about the earth, we know the earth, then quake. What do you mean by quake? Quake is nothing but shaking. Shaking is called as earth. Quake. We have a very simple definition for this. The shaking of earth's surface is called as earthquake. Very simple. And if you want to elaborate with some more points, like when the lithospheric plate gets under movement, when lithospheric plate shakes suddenly because of movement of magma inside and because of some other endogenic movements inside the earth that causes for earthquake. We know we have different layers inside the earth. Top layer is a crust, and below the crust we have the top layer, asthenosphere, and the top layer of mantle and crust is called as lithosphere. So this lithosphere has divided into many minor and major plates. So these plates are moving. When this plate suddenly gets a shake because of endogenic force, it called as earthquake. The quake is nothing but the shaking of earth. Shaking of earth's surface. Is called earthquake. So I give a very easy definition for this earthquake. And we have a complicated one like a lithospheric plate when it gets moved because when it gets shake or movement because of endogenic force. So it's called as earthquake, and it distracts us or it makes changes for the surface. So it's all of things like a definition. We have other definitions. We'll go for easy definitions. So it is a sudden movement which occurs inside the earth and makes large changes on earth's surface. This force originates inside the earth, but it causes for the large damages, changes. It's a sudden movement. It occurs inside the earth, but it makes changes outside the earth's surface. Earthquake is nothing but shaking of Earth's surface. So here it's Earth crust, and along with the astrosphere, suppose it's a lithosphere. Here the point where energy produces, and that energy will create waves. This energy will make waves, and that waves that travels in all the directions. So this point that creates the shaking, means the shaking of earth or shaking of a surface that starts from the single point there. So this point, from there the waves moves towards up directions. This point is called as focus. So when this shake or the movement starts from this point and that reaches surface of earth, here we have the earth surface, we have many people like this, suppose it's earth surface. This movement and the energy starts in this point, it's called as a focus. When it reaches the earth surface, the wave that increases, this wave, then this wave that shakes the earth surface. So it's a point where the energy generates inside the earth in the endogenic, means like inside the earth. From this point, the waves that moves in all the directions. Suppose it's a pond. Kere like the water in the place wherever the water is stagnant. Like you may say it's a lake, a pond, otherwise lagoon. There the water will be stagnant, will not make any movement. Kere. Ee kere, many of you might have done that. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಕೆರೆ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಲ್ಲು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, ಈಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಕೆರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲ್ಲು ಬಿದ್ದ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ what happens, you'll get a movement, you'll get movement like this, is not, it creates a movement, is not. So you have thrown the stone into the pond, otherwise lake. Suppose you have thrown the stone there, there is a place where stone fell, it's energy. Because of the energy, so wave has created it. It has created a wave and it increases, wave increases, is it not? So that's how the point here in the inside the earth, it's the energy which is originated, from there waves increases, it goes to all the direction, the waves, but we can see changes of these in our earth surface, only on the earth surface. The impact of this power, the impact of this energy can be seen on the earth surface, not here inside, because idr madhya bala power irutte inside, bala change, we can see the more changes here, the most things will be changes frequently inside the earth. So when these waves goes inside the earth, it doesn't make any sense, but when it comes over the earth surface, we'll get many changes because it's broken inside. As go inside mantle core, it's not broken, it's very hard, is not, and somewhat liquid in the core, so it not make any changes. But here it's a rock, hard surface, and it's broken even. So that's the reason we can see the changes there. So that's how this earthquake happens, and which generates inside the earth that makes changes over the earth surface. Same like a volcano. Volcano, it's a power, it's energy which originates inside the earth from the core, is not. But that makes a changes on the earth surface. The point where energy released inside the earth is called focus. Here the point where energy released inside the earth is called as focus. Then from here, from this point, the energy passes to the earth surface. It's the point, it's called as focus. It's the point where energy releases, starts. From here, energy passes into the surface of earth. So this is called as epicenter. The point above focus on earth surface is called epicenter. The point above focus on earth surface is called as epicenter. This one. So this epicenter that causes for distraction on the earth surface. Earthquake causes for distraction on earth surface. Distraction means it collapse the things on the earth surface. But the volcano that forms mountains. It constructs. Volcano construct the mountains. It makes a distraction. Construction and destruction. Construction and build model. Destruction and the kedo all nasha ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. So this earthquake will distract. It makes a destruction. It distracts the earth surface landforms on the earth surface. It works as a distraction on earth surface. Here, how we can get to know before the earthquake happens, how we can get to know it's going to have earthquake. In the volcano we cannot predict. We cannot predict the volcano. Previously we cannot predict anything in the place of volcano. Suddenly it happens, it occurs on the surface, and suddenly if they are on the place and you will be collapsed. You will be under the magma and you will become lava when you get under this volcano. But in the earthquake, before earthquake happens, we will get some predictions. Means we can predict and we will get some the things which say us, which indicates that this place is going to have earthquake. What are those? Like in a village people, they know. They will get to know whether it is going to have an earthquake or not. The village people. How? The snake inside the earth, it will come out. It will start to run around the earth surface. The snake, it will come out. Then the birds, it will start to fly and it will start to make a noise. And the dog, you know about the dog. So dog also will run away from that places very fastly. Whatever the dogs are there in that place, if that place is going to have an earthquake, and within a minute the dogs will run away from the places. And the fishes in the pond, and it will make some distractions. The fishes that will swim very smoothly and slowly there, isn't it? In the pond, the fish will swim very nicely. But when suppose they get a vibration of a earthquake, they start to swim very fast. That makes some changes in the pond and lake. By that we can get to know that place is going to have an earthquake. Like in a dog, ನಾಯಿಗಳು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ತನ್ನ ಕಿವಿನ ಈ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಮಲ್ಕೋತದೆ, ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಲ್ಕೋತದೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥಕ್ವೇಕ್, ನಾಯಿಗಳ ಕಿವಿನ ಈ ಥರ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಮಲ್ಕೋತದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾವು ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ನಾಯಿಗಳು ಮಲ್ಕೋತವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ಮಲ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಕೈ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಾಲನ್ನ ಮಡ್ಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾಯಿ ಮಲ್ಕೋತವಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯರು ಮಲ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. And it's a position like a yoga position to sleep. Actually, it's a good position. That ears of a dog will be attached to this ground. Well, that dog is the first animal which gets the indication of this earthquake for the first time, because earthquake is the vibration of earth, is not. It's a shake or vibration of earth's surface. The first vibration will be known by this dog, then it start to run away. Then second, the fishes will get to know about the indication of this earthquake. Then the snakes. So by this all those things we can get to know whether that places is going to have a earthquake or not. Then afterwards we'll get a shake, and after that everything will be collapsed. We'll be under the mud and we'll be under some rock, mud, and we'll be dead. Some people will be running. That's all the things. And there is a chance of having tsunami. How? What is the link between this earthquake and tsunami? Yes, if this earthquake happens or occurs in the bottom of sea and ocean, the tsunami happens. Means there is a chance of having a tsunami on the seashore, on the land, on the coastal plain. You will get a tsunami when earthquake takes place on the bottom. Suppose this is the ocean. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅರ್ಥಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಶೇಕ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ಏನಿದೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಓಷನ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇವ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಯಿತು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇವ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ವೇವ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿ ಸುನಾಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜನಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸಾಯ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ಥಕ್ವಿಕ್ ದ ಸುನಾಮಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರ್ಥಕ್ವಿಕ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಸುನಾಮಿ ಆನ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ the predictions. Predictions of earthquake. How? Like animals, behavior of animals. So the behavior of animal that will make us to predict the earthquake. Like as I told, the dog will start to bark. Then the snake will come out from his home or house. Then fishes it start to behave abruptly. The fish that start to behave abruptly because of this earthquake. Is that all? Let me write later. Snake comes out of its house, then fish behave, hesitate, then dog run away from the places. This is all the behavior of animals where we can get. So what we have to do when earthquake happens in a particular place? Suppose here we are here and we are doing our daily activities and we are going along with that. Suppose earthquake happened, what to do? What is the main thing? Suppose we are inside the house, you need to get into the table. You need to get into the table. So what is the reason? There will be many things in the house when the earth shakes, there will be a chance of falling all the things on our head. So that reason, when it start to shake very slowly for the beginning, and we need to search a safe place. That means we need to get under the table, a strong table. That should be strong. If you are there inside, and if you are there outside or on the ground, what you have to see, you have to search the place where nothing is there on that. It's like the buildings or any tower. Nothing should be there on that place. So search the places. There are such places and stand there. You should not stand under the tree during the earthquake. You should not stand under the tree or any electrical line. There you should not stand. The electrical pillar under that you should not stand during the earthquake. You should not stand in the beside of building or big buildings. You should stand and you should go near a plain area like a playground. You should search a playground and within a minute you should run there. It's things what we have to do during the earthquakes. The things we should not do, like as I told, and we should not stand under the tree and electrical electrical pillars and the building. There we should not do all those things. So it's about an earthquake. When it's endogenic force, it makes a changes on the earth's surface. Many distractions happens on the earthquake, earth surface because of this earthquake. Then we have landslide. Landslide. So same landslide. It's also endogenic force. So it's a crust, and here we have mantle. And on the earth's surface, we'll be having many features. Suppose it's the mountain. Landslide happens mainly in the slopy areas, high hilly areas, and high elevated areas, plateau regions. There we can see the landslide, not in the plain areas. Plain areas we cannot see any changes in that because of endogenic force. The endogenic force makes us changes onto the landslide and the volcano earthquake. These are the three changes where we can get because of this endogenic force. This landslide can be seen only in these areas like mountains and high areas. This landslide is nothing but these plates that start to move away. These are the lithospheric plate, broken plate. These two plates start to move away. Means exactly don't become separate. That start to move away. And it shakes. It gets a vibration. Because of the vibration, the piece of land, it falls down. It's a landslide. Suppose there is a road here. And the people are walking and they are traveling. There is a house. Suppose at that time, suppose they get the landslide. When this piece of land that falls on them, they stand a chance of losing their life and all the properties. So landslide is another one example for the endogenic force. Now we'll go for the exogenic force. Exogenic force. As like endogenic force, exogenic force is also the force which makes changes on the earth's surface. So here, this force which occurs, which originates outside of the earth. Exo means outside of earth, on the earth's surface. The force which occurs, on the earth's surface is called as exogenic force. Exo is nothing but outside. So this causes for changes on earth's surface. So mainly this endogenic force that forms landforms, that forms the land features, land physical features. Like a landforms, we'll discuss in under this exogenic force. We have sub concept. It's about landform. The major landforms, the important landforms. So because of exogenic force, we get a different landforms. You know, endogenic force that forms mountains, valley, and the landslide. It's all the reason for endogenic force. Exogenic force, earth surface ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಚೇಂಜಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಂಡೋಜೆನಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ. ಅರ್ಥ್ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಈ ವಾಲ್ಕನ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಫೋರ್ಸ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. It makes changes in the landforms. What is that force on the surface? What is that force? Recently we got a flood here. Is it not a force? It is a force. It's a high force of water which made changes here. Because of wind, tornado and the storms, and we got many examples who have lost their life, who has lost their lives during this tornado, otherwise during these storms. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಿರುಗಾಳಿ, ಸುಂಟರುಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಒಡೆಬೋದು, ಜೀವ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ತಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಮಠ ಜೀವ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬಿರುಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. Is it not a force of exogenic force? Is it not example of exogenic force? Yes, it is exogenic force. It occurs on the surface. Work of wind, ಗಾಳಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಬೀಸೋದಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇದರಿಂದ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. Work of water, river water, so we can find many changes. Then work of glacier ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಹಿಮಗೆಡ್ಡೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನದಿ ತರನ ಹರಿತವೆ. ನದಿ ಅದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. ದ ವಾಟರ್ ವಿಚ್ ಫ್ಲೋಸ್ ಇನ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ರಿವರ್. ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ದ ಐಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಫ್ಲೋಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ವಾಟರ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅ ರಿವರ್. ಐಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ರಿವರ್ ತರನ ಹರಿತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದ ವಾಟರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲಿಡ್. The flowing of a solid water in a particular stream is called as glacier. So these are three important changes. Exogenic, it's agent of changes. Exogenic force. So its causes for landforms, different landforms. Different landforms include erosion, weathering. It causes for different landforms. So this erosion and weathering, it happens because of exogenic forces. So continuous worn away of Earth's surface causes for changes. So continuous worn away, continuously our Earth's surface is warning away, means some places will be deposited with some other things, some places will be eroded. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ತ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವಾಗ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗುಡ್ಡಗಳಿವೆ, ಸಪೋಸ್ ಗುಡ್ಡ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಹಿಲ್ ಆರ್ ಮೌಂಟೇನ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹಿಲ್ಸ್. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಈ ಒಂದು ಗುಡ್ಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣುಗಳನ್ನ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಈ ನೀರಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಮತ್ತು ಗಾಳಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಣ್ಣನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅವೇ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವಾರ್ನ್ ಅವೇ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್. So that's a exogenic force. So because of this force, we can see that many changes on the Earth's surface. There are two main important things which causes for having changes. Two force which makes changes on Earth's surface. Or weathering and erosion. Weathering and erosion, these are the two important force. These are the two important force which makes changes on the earth's surface, weathering and erosion. So what is weathering? Weathering ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Weathering is nothing but breaking up of rock into pieces. Breaking up of rock into small pieces, it's called as weathering. ಈಗ ಬಂಡೆಕಲ್ಲು suppose it's under a very high temperature and suppose you have pour the water into that, it start to break small pieces. It start to break into small pieces. That small pieces falls on the surface. So it's called as sediments. It's called as pieces. It's called as weathering. Breaking up of rock is called as weathering and erosion. It's like so these are the two processes. One is weathering and another one is erosion. Erosion ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? A layer, suppose ಇದು ಬಂಡೆಕಲ್ಲು, it's a rock. Because of high temperature, it got heat. When you pour the water, means when it gets contact with the water and the air, it breaks into small pieces. These pieces will be, it falls down, is not? When it goes under the same process for thousands of years, it will get many pieces in the bottom of this rock, is not? So these pieces of a rock, it will be carried and it will be deposited in some other areas. So taking away these sediments, it's called as erosion. It's called as erosion. Removal of the surface of the object. Removal of a surface of object or washing away of the surface of object is called as erosion. You know the Monday, suppose we have a land. We have a land there. If you pour water into that suddenly, what happens? The upper layer of the land will be washed away. Is not? ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ, ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬಕೆಟ್ ನೀರು ತಗೊಂಡು ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನೀನು ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಎರಚ್ತೀರಿ, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಪ್ಪರ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಣ್ಣುಗಳು ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಲೋಪಿ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್. ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್? ಇದನ್ನ ಎರೋಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. So this weathering and erosion happens on the earth's surface that causes for changes. It's called as isogenic force. So there are three important agents which act as changes. It's about three. One is work of river, work of glacier, and work of wind. So we'll continue to discuss about that three important works on the earth's surface with isogenic force in next class.